like a craft beer through a pint glass. These are the gays of our lives. A show where Lisa and Avery get out their gay decoder rings to decipher the gay alphabet and bridge the gap between the older and younger LGBTQ community and everyone fucking else. And now here are your hosts, Lisa and Avery. Don't blame them.
Hey guys, it's Lisa.
And Avery.
And today on The Gays of Our Lives,
we have very special guest, Ben Yoder from the HSE School District.
Hello. Good to be here.
you are the orchestra instructor?
I am one of 7, but yes, I am one of 7 in the district.
7? Oh, in the district.
Seven
Okay.
instructors in the district for orchestra. Yeah.
Wow, we didn't have an orchestra.
Well, you know, times are changing. It's growing. It's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I was in orchestra, so we definitely had an orchestra.
Right.
Well, you
what
went
did
to
you
Carmel.
play?
I played violin.
Yes.
Yeah. The best I got was 4th chair, and then I steadily started going backwards.
Well, you know, as long as you're playing, it's good.
I enjoyed it. Now my violin's over my mantel place like a souvenir of music past.
Well, you need to pull that sucker back down.
We
Let me
had-
know if you want me to come over and help you tune it.
The sound post fell, so if you know a guy who can repair that for me.
We can do that. We'll find someone. for
There we
sure.
go.
Hey.
We had
We got
marching band and concert band, and that was it.
Hey, it's still music.
Yeah,
It's
well,
good.
absolutely. And
It's
I was a
good.
drummer, so, I mean, you know.
That
the shoe
explains
fits.
a lot.
Right? Right. If the shoe fits, yeah. So that's full time.
It is. Yep. I'm up there from 7 to 4 every day-ish, something like that.
How many orchestras or orchestra, is it class or is it
Yeah.
like you have different orchestras for different grades?
Sure. So there are actually classes. We have an ability-based orchestra system at HSE. So they start in 6th grade, and that's like a huge beginner class. And then we split them up into smaller groups when they're in 7th and 8th grade to kind of help them be in a group that best suits their ability and move them forward. And so most schools have 3 or 4 orchestras that are ability-based in the 7th and 8th grade. And then I think each high school has 5 orchestras.
Wow.
So, I mean, the program is really, even since I've been there the last 10 years, has really grown.
Wow.
Which has been great.
That's well,
I'm sorry, I'm so intrigued by this because I don't know anything about orchestra.
That's just way better than the system because, like, when I was in school, it was you were automatically in 7th grade orchestra or 8th grade orchestra, and it wasn't really
Sure.
about ability. You just moved around really within your class.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
But
what
really,
it
like, I'm
was.
sure the sound is even different when you're able to do that.
It is. I mean, and we didn't start out that way. That's something we shifted to maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
And it's made a huge difference because you can meet the kids where they are and move them forward where they are. And it keeps kids from being bored, hopefully.
Yeah.
And also keeps kids from being frustrated. You know, if they're in a class that's too advanced for them, that's hard. So
Yeah.
we're just about getting them to where they need to be.
How long have you been at HSE?
So this is, I believe, my 10th year at HSE. And I came
Not
down
old
from
enough.
Goshen, which is where I taught first, and that's also where I'm from. So I did 3 years up there and then came down here after that.
You don't look old enough.
You're
to
not
be
old
teaching
enough.
That long.
Yeah.
I am 30. This is my 13th year, and I'm 35 years old. It's the truth.
What?
I know, and I'll take that. You can tell me I look young all day long. I will take it.
I see. I
do.
feel like we both look the same age, and I look young for my age. So I'm gonna say we're both 23 for the rest of the podcast.
let's
I was
go
going to
with
say
that.
27. I was going to say 27 just because I know some of the people you hang out with.
Well, you know, no,
so-
I'll take it. Anything in my 20s, I'll take. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, so you're a gay man, correct?
Correct.
Have you been out the entire time you've been teaching?
I have been. Mhm.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
did you come out?
So I came out to friends when I was in college. Yeah, I went to Ball State and I came out then. I don't even remember. Chirp, chirp. Heck yeah. I don't even remember, really actually saying anything. I just started dating guys and was hanging out with guys. And my friend group was very open. There were a lot of other folks who identified as gay or lesbian in my group, and so it just kind of was a thing that we all just ran with. I mean, we just were who we were. And then I came out to my family towards the end of my college career, which was actually a very positive experience overall. I feel very fortunate because I know not everybody has that, but
Yeah.
I felt like I had a really positive experience.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I think maybe, the time you came out too, it was a little bit more, Ellen was more out there.
It
and-
was. I think back to when I was in high school, and that was something, no one, I was in high school in the late 90s, early 2000s, and no one was out. I mean, we didn't have anybody. Even though I knew, like, I was definitely not going to say anything or, I definitely was trying to keep it under wraps. But after going to Ball State, I think that's where I really felt comfortable enough in like a much more worldly, open place, which college we hope is, to be able to be more myself and not feel like I was constrained. And you know, like I think back, my community even in high school was not one that I think would have not been accepting, but you felt that way. Like looking at it from the outside, I don't think it would have been, but when you're inside, it doesn't always feel that way.
Well, and there's always that pressure of like high school in general. I'm even sure nowadays it's like you're coming to terms with your peers and what their opinions are, no matter what day and age. You know?
Exactly.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Concord High School, which is up in between Elkhart and Goshen, up in northern Indiana.
Yeah.
It literally straddles those two towns and kind of takes kids from both of those.
So it's a little backwoodsy, a little
ish, but you know, it's
compared to Indianapolis.
Oh yes, compared to
so
Indianapolis.
I mean,
yeah,
I could see him being more conservative, and it being something that I can't really come out here.
Right. Yeah.
More.
I mean, but you know, I know there are a lot of kids up there now, and again, because times are changing.
Oh, yeah.
Times have changed, and I would say it's probably not an issue up there at all anymore that I've heard or seen. So. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, just touching on that then, so you were present for HSE doing some real changes in their student handbook, really, or their overall really handbook. And I have to know, like, what was that atmosphere like to be present for?
I was so impressed with the community rising up to get it done. I was at both board meetings. I was at the one where the initial one where it was voted down.
You spoke, didn't you?
I did not speak at that one.
Okay.
No, I was, and it was voted down, which was disappointing. And then when it was brought back up again after more language was crafted, it was tabled, and then they went back to try to recraft the language. And I was at that secondary board meeting where they were looking at that language, and that was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I mean, I showed up to that meeting. I'm the vice president of our Teachers Association, and so that was something that we as a Teachers Association felt was really important, not only for our students, but also for faculty members. And so we brought a very large contingent of people to that meeting. And then, but the real magic was the students and the community members. I mean, I'm not sure, I would assume you've seen that video.
Yeah. I mean, goosebumps thinking about it, honestly.
And some of those students were former students of mine, and just to see them stand up for what they knew was right and speak in front, which is, I mean, nerve-wracking. That's really nerve-wracking to do, was amazing. And I still think back to that, and it makes me so proud to know that those, especially the kids, were like, this is what we want. This is our school system. You know, we need this. And that it was amazing.
Well, and that was the first time, was back when Shelley Fitzgerald got fired from Roncalli, that I saw these school kids, straight and gay, stand up and be like, no, we're not going to accept this. Because back in my day, that would never have happened.
Oh, no, same.
So to see it again, it's just like, it says something about the way people are starting to raise their kids more accepting.
Well,
absolutely.
And just like you said, the number of allies that are present, not just like, you know, people being out, like that's huge. And really that's what I remember from that board meeting is like, I don't remember that in high school or middle school, but that's amazing that kind of culture is present now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like I said, that was a magical night. It was a long night, but to see the board then vote the way they did, and we had 2 board members change their votes from the previous meeting, and that was enough to put it over the top. So,
are there a lot of older people or younger people on the board though, or most of them younger?
So the board since that meeting has reorganized, but at that point in time, you probably had a decent mix.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is, and was in that community, in any community, is just education. What do you know? How does it affect you? And if it doesn't affect you, are you willing to see how it affects other people? And I think, you know, what HS Equal, and which was the organization that really spearheaded this, what the Teachers Association tried to do was just educate people, because we found, like you said, there are a lot of allies out there, but they may not realize they're allies or that they need to be. And so, you know, educating people about things they don't understand, I think is an important thing that we all have to do so that things like this can happen, because it's not just going to happen because we want it to. There have to be allies that are willing to stand up with us. So
absolutely. And those allies raise kids.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you know, and I think that's important. And I love the way it's changing though.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my mom was scared with, you know, the whole AIDS epidemic. Don't drink out of the water fountains.
Yeah.
And I had 2 gay guy friends that unfortunately have passed, but had HIV/AIDS. And my mom's like, don't drink out of their cups. Don't sit on the toilet. And I'm like, Mom, you know, because uneducated, you know, you, like we said before, put a face with the monster. And then, it, you know, if she would have actually gotten to know them and talked to them, she wouldn't have probably felt like that.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, but
absolutely.
So I think it's neat to see so many of the young kids, especially really coming together about it. So.
I think, kids seem these days, even since I've been teaching, like I said, 13 years, I've noticed a shift. Kids don't care as much about sexual orientation, gender identity. They care more about whether you're a person they enjoy spending time with.
And that's the way it should be.
Exactly. And so, because I think we have come to a point, I mean, it's obviously not perfect yet, but we've come to a point where people, especially kids, are valuing kids for who they are, not for what they are, and I think that's absolutely positive. So
it's amazing.
What would you say is like, just, in your opinion over the years and watching that transformation, what do you think has been kind of like an invaluable tool as far as helping kids become allies?
I think first of all, representation, having representation, and when kids have, folks to see in front of them that are perhaps in the same subgroup or whatever you want to call it that they are, that identify the way they do. I think that's really positive, and seeing that not only in school but also on television, in the media, in out and about, all those things. Representation is so important, and I think that's helped to quote unquote normalize it, normalize people being different. And I think schools also have been. And not all schools and not all places, but a lot of places, including my district, I think have really been trying to give kids tools to understand that differences are a good thing. And like I said, there's no perfect, silver bullet that's going to do this for us. But I think schools are starting to focus on that because they want kids to be kind to each other and to respect each other no matter who they are, who they love, whatever that, because we're all different. And that's for many reasons. Yeah. And that's something to celebrate.
You said about normalizing it. It's funny because a buddy last night at poker said, why do they have to put about Sowers, the coach for the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
Why do they have to put she's a lesbian? Why can't they just put a woman? I said, because you have to realize we need these kids to see you can be a woman or you can be a lesbian, or you can, you'll be both. Yeah. But you can. Well, I know they're probably both. But you know what I mean.
I said if you're a lesbian, you're probably
okay. I should have said lesbian or a woman. I said it backwards.
Maybe gay would have been the
gay or a woman. You could actually be a coach in the Super Bowl.
Oh, sure.
Not
Absolutely.
just and I said they need to see that. Like we've said, put a face to the beast.
Yep, that is
the monster or whatever.
That's representation.
And I said they need to do that. I said I used to be like that too. Why do you always have to, And here I am, just out loud and everything. But I was the same way because I thought if they got to know me and they accepted me, they would be like, well, I guess not all gays are bad. Hey guys, it's Lisa with The Gays of Our Lives, and this week's episode is sponsored by my own CBD line through Denver CBD. It's actually the first one in town here that has vitamin D in it, and it's also helping with different causes. The strawberry flavor, 5% goes to cancer support community. The orange flavor, 5% goes to the National MS Society. Use my code LISA20 and get 20% off your order.
Well, and honestly, that's like a discussion I had with my dad recently because there's this term that was created a while ago, the gay agenda. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was, it's a spook term. That's all it is. It's made to spook people out and like scare them and make them think like there's something out there we can't handle.
But it consists of a lot of days of tacos.
But what I'm genuinely trying to say here is that like when you create a term like that and it goes out there into the world, people are like, well, then that must be associated with that. But in reality, it's not so much an agenda that's gay. It's so much as like we're just trying to be people that prosper forward. And,
right, absolutely.
And I think that like having that representation, people get scared, and I think that comes from that ignorance of it must be from the gay agenda. Well, no, we're putting it out there so there's representation for people to see.
Right. Well, and that's true because like when they're uneducated or they're born into that and they're raised that way, they don't know. My mother was scared of black people until the day she died. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's sad. And just because she was uneducated about it.
Yeah.
Because she was not born around them, raised around them, or anything.
Well, there's also like miseducation. I'm sure.
Exactly.
Just because of the generation. I mean. That was my whole problem in high school. I was educated that lesbians all looked like motorcycle dykes, and that was like what you were if you're gay. And I'm like, well, I don't look like that, so clearly I'm not gay. And that was like how I was able to round that out for me for about 4 years, And it's just that kind of ignorance that's easy to get born.
Mm. Yeah, stereotypes are dangerous. I mean, they can be they can be really detrimental.
A lot of times they're right, but
not completely.
No. But so that's where they get it, but. In the same aspect, you got to get to know the person,
right?
And not even what they look like as a stereotype, but like just the person.
Yeah. So, what got you into teaching music?
Wow. Okay. So this is one of my favorite stories. So I grew up in a musical home. Both my parents are musicians. My mom plays the piano. My dad sings. And so I grew up around music. I mean, it was always happening. My parents forced me into taking piano lessons when I was younger. And I did not like it, but I did it anyway, mostly because I had to, was required to.
Right.
And then when I was in third grade going into fourth grade is when I decided to start taking violin, because our school system had orchestra starting in fourth grade, or the summer before fourth grade. And so then I was doing both violin and piano, and my plan had been that I would take violin for 1 year because orchestra started before band, and then I wanted to be a percussionist. And I was like, so I'm gonna do this for a year.
Because you're smart.
I'm gonna get some experience,
Because
and then I will drop violin like it's hot, and I will go and be a percussionist and sit in the back of the band bus and, all that. We don't have
with
to go
the cool
into that.
kids.
Right. And so that was my plan. But after playing like violin for a year, I just fell in love with it. And I didn't want to drop. I remember going to that band night where you could try out the band instruments. I remember going, and I went and tried out drum stuff and percussion stuff, and I really enjoyed it.
Hooked.
But like I was like, I can't drop violin. So
you didn't love it. You liked it.
Right. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I loved violin. And then when I found out that you could be a music teacher and that could be a real job, like an actual job that you could get paid for, that was when I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And it never wavered, like from fifth grade on, all the way through junior high, all the way through high school, and then right on into college.
That's awesome to really have that sense of purpose too with that, because I mean, I love violin, and I genuinely love like the instruments I do know how to play. Yeah. But it's like it's never been my calling, so to have that it's just amazing.
I was really fortunate because as soon as I figured that out, I was like, this is what I'm doing.
Especially since, that young, because you ask kids that young normally, and they want to be astronauts and whatever.
I wanted to be a cowboy.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go.
You know what? And I love cowboys. That's great.
But
awesome.
usually it changes over time. So that's incredible to have it that much passion for it that long. And if you see you in it, you can tell how passionate you are still to this day about it.
Yeah, I love it. I love my job. I love the kids I work with. It's great. It's awesome. Couldn't ask for anything else.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
What would you say is like, I mean, obviously you love all of it, but what is like the best part of your day with teaching music?
Honestly, it is so my beginners are at the very end of the day, and they're probably my favorites, because seeing a kid go from not knowing anything about their instrument, not even knowing how to set it up, hold it, do anything, to that first concert that we have where they're making music and they're, it's just, it's magic. Like and I've been doing it now for how long? 13 years. I still don't know how it happens. Like I look at it every one of those first concerts. I look at it, I'm like, this is amazing. How did we get here? And I'm that excited, just like they are, to go out on stage and perform, because, in August they don't know anything about it, and by December here we are, and it's pretty cool.
That passion and that love is what makes you an amazing teacher.
Well, thank you.
Didn't you just get an award?
I did. I was very honored this year to receive Indiana's Outstanding Middle School Music Educator.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thank you. Which again, like, I was just flabbergasted to even be nominated for it and then to receive it, because a lot of my mentor teachers that I've known for years have received that award before me, and so to be thought of in that circle of people is very cool.
That's amazing.
And I think a big part of what makes you that teacher is your love and passion for it, and your excitement still every one of their first concerts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what makes you the teacher you are.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's fun. I enjoy it.
In my opinion, I haven't ever had you, but in my opinion,
right. Well,
seeing your videos, and seeing you teach, and your programs or your concerts. I mean, you can tell it's you. It's who you are.
Yeah. I love
core.
It. It's great. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we are grateful to have you on, but what we do now is we have a segment that we call Ask Gays, or Gays Ask. I'm dyslexic today.
Okay.
You want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna go with my favorite question. If you could be on any reality TV show, what would that be?
Oh boy. Honestly, I think I would probably choose. Big Brother, probably.
Why?
Just because, so like, do you have a lot of people say like the Real Housewives of XYZ or things like that?
We've only gotten the Real Housewives once.
I think so, yeah.
I will say this. I I guess that is reality TV. So I might have to change my answer. Yeah, I would be on one of the Real Housewives. It doesn't matter which. Pick one.
Doesn't matter. Just
And
roll the
I really
dice.
just want to be on it so I can sit there and watch all of that stuff just explode. Like, that is so fascinating to me. And they drink wine. So, like, I'm like, let me have the wine. Let me sit here and watch you guys argue. And I'll just sit in the back with my legs crossed and
See,
judge you.
That
Like,
terrifies me. The women on Real Housewives terrify me because I'm like, not only could they whip my ass, they're going to like hurt you.
Well,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, you know what?
I don't
But
watch it, so.
I figure, like, if I just stay in the background and don't piss anybody off, like, I can just, like I said, drink wine, sit back, nobody bothers
Just
me.
throwing a quip every
Everybody
now and
comes,
then.
they tell me, you know, all the tea, they give me all the dirt, and
there
I
it
just
is.
sit
So it sounds like that's that or Big Brother. It
Yeah,
seems
either
like.
one. And Big Brother, I just think is hilarious because I feel like I could, you know, manipulate and trick people into doing what I wanted and end up being the last person in the house.
Have you?
Yeah.
One of our guests just said The Circle, and I had never seen it, so I.
So is that? I don't
It's
even know.
like a social network one where they're all in the same building, but they can't see each other except for on social media, a social
Like, you
media
have to become
platform.
the most popular person
Yeah,
in the building.
yeah.
But they never like actually meet. It's
No.
just all,
No,
okay, so I don't know, like, I can do
online.
that. Like, I need personal interaction.
Correct.
That's how
Me
I
too.
feel too. I
Me
feel like
too.
I don't read well on Instagram or Facebook.
No, I don't think so.
I think I could do it as long as it wasn't too long because I need.
You have to be able to speak to. I mean, I have to have a
Yeah,
real
but
person
they get
talk
to they can message each other and stuff like that. But you know,
Understand.
there are people down there that just catfish and do
Oh,
this stuff
sure.
and act like there's somebody else. But
I
they
don't have time. I don't
they
have
do
time for
the
that.
same kind of thing, but
It's
it's
well
on
researched.
it's on internet. You know, so
Interesting.
that's the new age Big Brother kind of thing. In my opinion,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
it is
I
different.
just want
so.
one person to say naked and afraid. I just want one person.
Didn't Todd?
No, Todd McComas said, oh no, I can't remember.
I thought it was Naked and Afraid.
I feel like it was a kitchen show.
Oh, baby,
know.
yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, those are fun too.
All right, if you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be and why?
Oh my.
I love that you've dropped dead or alive out of it.
Well,
Yeah,
that happened the last time, so.
So it is. Is it dead or alive, or is it just?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I made a kid cry.
You don't ask a 10-year-old dead or alive.
Well, I did. Ugh.
Okay, so I think that I would
Didn't know
probably.
she'd say her cat.
Honestly, I would have dinner with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I would.
That's awesome.
There you go. That's
Our
a great
blind-
answer.
And she's my phone case. I mean, hopefully you can see that. But I just find her to be completely fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, over the last several years, because she's become kind of a progressive hero,
Yeah.
like we've learned a lot more about her. And I would just love to. Now, from what I understand, she can't cook, so I'll do it. I'll cook. She comes over. She does. I mean, she still drinks wine. She falls asleep during the State of the Union. These are all.
Don't we all?
Positive,
It's like the perfect
positive
date.
things, right? I mean, shit, I would go on a date with Ruth. Absolutely. So I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg for sure.
Oh man, well, and
Fair.
it's funny you
That's a good
mentioned that
answer.
because, like, really, like, because of her becoming like the hero she was, I didn't start researching her until like a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden I was like, this woman's amazing.
Well, the
Why aren't
things
there
she's
8,000
done.
movies about her?
Right, and now there are. But like the things she's done for especially for women and
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
women's causes forward has been, I think, just incredible. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
deserves all the credit. I mean, amazing. So, yeah.
Awesome. That was really good.
All right.
That's one of the best answers we've ever had. Let me think. I'm usually better at this. Okay. You could go on vacation anywhere, but you can only pack 2 things. Where are you going and what are you bringing?
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna go somewhere tropical because I need water and sand and beach and stuff like that. So I'd have to bring. Well, I guess I wouldn't have to bring a swimsuit. I mean, depending on what the situation
You just
is.
picked the right beach.
Right, pick the right beach. You know, I think I would bring some kind of outfit I could go out in, whatever that is, and probably my phone, just because I want to take pictures. Not necessarily so I can communicate with other people.
Okay.
I would have guessed a violin.
You know.
You can't get sand in a violin.
Well, no,
you can't.
but-
also like vacation. I don't know that.
Oh
I need,
yeah,
you know,
vacation.
like-
I was just thinking, if you had to go somewhere and live somewhere, like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, if I was moving, yeah, obviously I would.
well,
bring it,
no,
but-
I meant like you'd stranded on an island or stranded
Oh, no, if I
someplace.
was-
Never
well,
mind.
sure.
I was thinking something different.
That's cool. That's cool.
No, yeah, not
This
your
game is
violin.
fun. I like it.
All right, a silly question. I like this one. Toilet paper, over or under?
Oh, I am an over person.
Okay, thank you.
Under.
Yeah, over.
Somebody's a freak down
I've
here.
started calling it mullet style.
What is it? Mullet or what? What's the other one? Mullet or bangs? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I prefer bangs for my
Gotcha.
toilet paper, mullet for my hair.
I prefer mullet for my toilet paper.
Fair. Fair.
Fair.
It's the only place
fair.
I find a mullet acceptable. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
Well, I'm surprised.
Some
you
of
guys-
us aren't
I mean, How are
cool.
you sitting next to each other right
Some of us aren't that cool. It's okay.
That's just how we talk.
We do. We bicker all the time. We appreciate you coming on so much. I've wanted to have you on for a long time.
Yeah,
but
no.
it just hasn't worked out. I know, and we just adore you, or I do at least.
Well,
I think he probably does.
I just met you, but I genuinely adore you.
The feeling is mutual. You guys, thank you so much for what you do. This is fantastic.
Well, you know, there's a lot of education that needs to be done about the community, and me being 45, I didn't understand it. So how are all those people going to understand it that aren't in the community?
Sure. And this is just fun. I mean, it's just fun. Right? It's a fun way to learn things.
And you can Google it, but why not get it from somebody else's perspective, a human perspective, you know?
Right. And here in Indianapolis, that's very cool.
And Googling is so dangerous. Then you're going to find out you have cancer when you ask about gay rights. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, fake news or whatever. Sure. Yeah.
I do have one last question for you before we sign out. If there was one thing that you wanted to say, it's for everybody to hear about your mission in life, what would that be?
Good question.
I think above obviously getting as many people to make music as I can, I think that my life's mission in education is to just help make kids understand and people understand that it's important to be kind to people. Be kind to your people. Like, we're all human beings. Be kind and respect us because we're humans and we're all we have. So, I mean, I got a really nice note from a girl in one of my classes during the holidays that said, you know, "Dear Mr. Yoder, thank you so much for teaching me, you know, et cetera and so forth," which was awesome. But she said, "And thank you so much for always reminding us to be kind to each other." And that, of course, like, I teared up, and I had to eat like a whole box of chocolates and have 6 martinis and pass out under the tree. But it's like, but that and that made me so happy, because above the education, the music, that's wonderful and important. But I want the next generation of little people who will be big people and in charge eventually to, I think, learn something that my generation and the generations before me haven't figured out yet. Yeah. And that is to be kind.
It doesn't take much. Okay, last question.
Okay.
Because I just thought of it. You have a gay pride flag in your classroom, don't you?
I do.
And did you have that your first day? Did you put that in the classroom first day?
No, I did not. So that went up after the 2016 election, and it's a pride flag with the word peace on it. And I had seen it somewhere. I think another teacher, a colleague of mine in some other state had it. I think my buddy Jeff in Connecticut had it. And I saw it and I was like, what a wonderful idea. And I had there was a student that came to me and was talking just about life in general after the election. And he identifies as gay, and he was just felt very afraid and very, just uneasy about everything.
Yeah.
And so after that conversation, I went home that night and was just thinking about it. And I was like, I'm going to get this, and I'm just going to put it up. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to put it up and leave it there as a silent sign that this classroom is a place where we are
safe space.
A safe space, and be respectful and kind. And so many kids since then have reached out, or people who saw it when it was on social media have reached out and said, thank you for putting that up. And, that it means something. And again, it's representation. And it's even kids who identify as straight have thanked me for putting that up. And if they had been, that's really cool. That's really neat that's here.
Yeah.
Because again, it's about like creating safe spaces for people to feel like they belong in those spaces. And I think if that's a way that I can do that, then I'm happy to do that. So,
that's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Totally just creates like a great, like if you can create a space where it's easier to grow, like that's your job as a teacher.
Yeah.
It sounds like you are excelling at that.
I wish more teachers were like you, because what you're doing, I seriously thank you for it. You know,
you are welcome. It is. I think back again to like when I was in school, and I don't think that any of my teachers were, hi sir, any of my teachers were homophobic or were mean or nasty, but it just wasn't something that was being done back then, wasn't something that was being thought about. And I think the thought process of realizing, yes, we need representation. Yes, we need to make sure that these kids have places they can go where they feel safe and welcome, is important.
I think if there was a teacher like you in every school, there would be a heck of a lot more teen gay suicides. Less. Or less. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
No. I told you I'm dyslexic today. My goodness.
That's not even dyslexia.
I don't know. Just stupid today.
I thought that too, because I was like, what did she just say?
No, there would be a heck of a lot less of teen gay suicides if they had a safe place and somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them don't have anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're scared.
And it is, regardless, adolescence is a scary time. Everything's all wonky and whacked out and, so So I just try to be there for the kids and let them know how much I care about them and etc.
Well, thank you for doing what you do.
Well, thank you it's been great to be here. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming on.
I'm happy to do it. I'll come back anytime.
Well, we would love to have you. Hey, if you guys want to be on, you can reach out to us at www.laughs.life. There's a contact me page.
Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Snapchat. Oh, also kind of TikTok.
Kind of
TikTok.
I'm kind of old to be
I haven't
running.
figured that out yet.
I'm kind of old trying to figure that TikTok out.
I just figured it out on my ski vacation.
Okay, yeah. So.
Well, then, so you're in charge of TikTok then.
Oh, God, don't give me another job.
Another one.
This has been Gaze of Our Lives. Make sure to check out the Gaze online at www.laughs.life.